We're back. It's time to play this friggin' game. Welcome everybody. I'm here for it. I'm here to beat HeartGold with one Furret. I've never done a solo run of a game. I've never just beat a game with just one Pokemon. I've never even attempted it. I've never played HeartGold all the way before. I've started it a couple times. I've never finished it. I didn't own a DS until Black and White came out. And so by the time I had the means to play this game, I had moved on. Even though I love Johto, it was time for Black and White. So, what happened on last stream, on Tuesday, is that I started the game and then I lazily didn't heal between battles and I died, and that was attempt 1. I was like, alright, I'm gonna play stupid sometimes. But then I started attempt 2 and it was going fine. I was doing a little better with everything. And then friggin' what am I trying to say? Hold on a sec. Oh no, this is gonna be bad. I'm trying to monitor the live chat. I don't think anybody's gonna join us live today, folks. If you're watching after the fact, I thank you so much. But yeah, I don't think that's happening. Anyway, all I was trying to say is that we're playing HeartGold and we're gonna try to beat it with one Furret. And okay, Tuesday, second attempt, it was all well and good, blah blah blah. And then I still had Chikorita in my party, with an HM, and for Cut, she was still there to use Cut, which I didn't need at this point. But because I had 2 Pokemon, it triggered this double battle, and I just kind of didn't play it right, and I died in that fight. And I was like, well, doesn't really count because I wouldn't do the battle if it wouldn't have been blah blah blue. But and I was gonna just keep going with it, but I'm not gonna do that. We're gonna start back from our first encounter. So this is attempt 3 that we're starting today, and it's going to be a good time. Overall, I think we're going to have fun. Let me turn the music back on. I was just trying to check on the stream. I don't have a good way of doing this. I'll be getting a second monitor soon. I'm looking forward to that. That'll make stuff a lot easier for me here. Okay. Yeah, let me just get the music back up. No! Stop! That's so funny. Okay. I keep trying to play the music I just stopped. Okay. History. Show me history. Thank you. Now play that on the TV for the people. Yes. We're listening to a live stream, the 24/7 live stream, Lo-Fi Pokemon Radio, nostalgic music to chill/study to, from YouTube account Futaba Cafe. I may link it in the description, but that's what we're listening to in the background there. But we're here. It's time to catch another Furret. I have decided that I should heal this Chikorita. I have decided that, save my money, please, and then can I take a nap or something? Or do I talk to my bed to take a nap? No? Does Professor Elm have a way to heal my Pokemon without wasting one of my potions? Yeah, okay, thank you. I have decided I'm going to reattempt for Keen Eye Sentret. I don't want Runaway Sentret. I don't know what it gets as Furret if it has Runaway. I don't know if it keeps Runaway, because that's abysmal. It's just, it doesn't help us at all, whereas Keen Eye really can. Alright, baby number 3. Welcome to the Resistance. Let's see if we're hanging on to ya. Keen Eye. Plus speed nature. Minus special attack nature is not actually ideal for like a solo run like this. I was thinking that like it would probably be in our best interest, if anything, to like maybe attempt to be somewhat of a mixed attacker, which is, you know, obviously like mixed attacker feels like a dirty word in Pokemon sometimes, but that that's still plus speed I will absolutely take, and keen eye. Although it looks like maybe a terrible speed IV, because I feel like it should be more than 6, but whatever. We're on the run. We're running. Baby, welcome to the Resistance. Now, what I've committed to, I'll update the rules in the descriptions. I'm gonna fight every trainer, and that, you know, and I'll also fight wild Pokemon. Not every wild Pokemon. I'm not gonna have like a hard rule about how many wild Pokemon I can fight, but I was actually even considering yesterday. I was like, what if I had to battle one of every kind of Pokemon you can encounter in any given route? But then that gets into like, well, can you fish or blah blah blah. Ooh, there's a butterfly outside. Can you fish, or do you have to fish? Like, do you have to beat a Magikarp on every route or in every city, or I don't know. It just gets into a place where I don't want to do it. I could specify grass encounter, but then like, what if you're in a cave? Blah, 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 blah. I don't know. So, no hard rules about battling wild Pokemon, but oh, that one had an Oranberry. Why don't you have an Oranberry, huh? One thing I was doing, though, is I am going to commit to fighting every trainer. Like, I don't promise in the game, but every trainer that I see that I have access to, I'm going to fight him. I'm not going to go find hidden trainers or anything like that. I'm not about to, like, study this game just for, like, every nook and cranny. But you know, just what I said. I'll fight every trainer I see. Because that's how we're gonna get all our experience, because I am overleveling in this challenge. I'm gonna grind in the grass every once in a while too, because like, for instance, I fought every trainer in attempt 2 before Faulkner, and Sentret hadn't evolved yet. It was at like level 13 when all was said and done, so I was like a level and a half away from evolving. I was just like, I'm just gonna evolve. I'll just grind and evolve before the gym battle, because this is Furret versus HeartGold, and 13 was the actual level cap. But so I don't know. It just felt like I could try it, but it just doesn't feel like what I'm not trying to hardcore Nuzlocke with just a Furret. Like, I'm already doing permadeath. I'm already doing like a limit on healing items and stuff. But I will say, I mean, there were parts yesterday that like my attempts have only ended thus far because of like sloppy play, not because of actual like difficult things happening to me. I've just been like rushing and not paying attention and not healing between battles and dumb stuff. Alright, you're finally at a starter level. But, so yeah, like, the challenge has seemed somewhat easy thus far. Like, and I'm still conflicted on whether or not this is something I even want to be doing. But here we are. I've been working on reciting the Kanto Pokemon today from memory. The original 151. For my series. I need to find my tripod. I almost filmed the first like episode today, but I'm gonna start doing a shorts, like a Reels YouTube short series called attempting to do the 151 Pokemon in 60 seconds or less from memory. And I'll just upload all my failed attempts day to day. I'll try it. But I got as close as I've ever gotten today. I did it in like 68 seconds, and I was like, I still have room to improve here. Like there were gaps, because my one concern was like, I'm not like the fastest talker. I don't want to necessarily like learn speed talking, you know. So my one concern was like, oh no, what if I simply just can't say them fast enough? Like, what if the words are just too long and it's not a memory issue, it's like a fast talking issue? But I got to 68 seconds with there still being some memory issues at play, which says to me, like, you know, I should, in theory, be able to make up for those memory things and hopefully get it in 60 seconds or less. Like, I was thinking about, like, doing it in, like, half the time and uploading that. Like, I do the original 151 in 75 seconds, which, like, I've already accomplished a couple of times. So that's part of it, is just, it's not, I wouldn't actually be achieving anything on a personal level by doing that on camera. Like, I already know I can do that. What am I trying to say? Yeah, I don't think we need to waste a potion on this guy. But yeah, I did it in 68 seconds. I think I can do it in 60. Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, Venusaur. I'm not going to do it fast, but I'll just do it. Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, Venusaur, Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard, Squirtle, Wartortle, Blastoise, Caterpie, Metapod, Butterfree, Weedle, Kakuna, Beedrill, Pidgeotto, Pidgeot, Rattata, Raticate, Spearow, Fearow, Ekans, Arbok, Pikachu, Raichu, Sandshrew, Sandslash, Nidoran, Nidorina, Nidoqueen, Nidoran, Nidorino, Nidoking, Clefairy, Clefable, Vulpix, Ninetales, Jigglypuff, Wigglytuff, Zubat, Golbat, Oddish, Gloom, Vileplume, Paris, Parasect, Venonat, Venomoth, Diglett, Dugtrio, Meowth, Persian, Psyduck, Golduck, Mankey, Primate, Growlithe, Arcanine, Poliwag, Poliwhirl, Poliwrath, Abracadabra, Alakazam, Machop, Machoke, Machamp, Bellsprout, Weepinbell, Victreebel, Tentacool, Tentacruel, Geodude, Graveler, Golem, Ponyta, Rapidash, Slowpoke, Slowbro, Magnemite, Magneton, Farfetch'd, Doduo, Dodrio, Seal, Dugong, Grimer, Muck, Shelder, Cloyster, Ghastly, Haunter, Gengar, Onix, Drowsy, Hypno, Krabby, Kingler, Voltorb, Electrode, Execute, Executor, Cubone, Marowak, Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan, Lickitung, Coughing, Wheezing, Rhyhorn, Rhydon, Chansey, Tangela, Kangaskhan, Horsey, Seadra, Goldeen, Seaking, Staryu, Starmie, Mr. Mime, Scyther, Jinx, Electabuzz, Magmar, Pinsir, Tauros, Magikarp, Gyarados, Lapras, Ditto, Eevee, Vaporeon, Jolteon, Flareon, Porygon, Ammonite, Amistar, Kabuto, Kabutops, Aerodactyl, Snorlax, Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres, Dratini, Dragonair, Dragonite, Mewtwo, Mew. I'm currently just a little iffy on whether or not I did Tauros right and whether or not I did Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan right. But I think I did. I think I did everything right. But that's just the kind of crazy shit I'm doing all the time, like memorizing the Pokemon for no friggin' reason. I'm a little different. It's just fun. It's fun. It's a stupid party trick, I tell people, and it's a very mixed bag response of like not giving a shit or being genuinely weirded out that I did that. Like, I've had at least one person be like, okay, you know, the kind of reaction where it's like, weird, you're weird. And then, you know, but occasionally I don't want to do that. Occasionally I encounter people who think it's fun. And then even more occasionally I encounter people that are like, that's amazing, that's so cool, that's the coolest, and then they like do it over and over again. They just give me numbers, which is fun. It's a fun time. I'm having fun. Yeah, I'm thinking, so I'm gonna schedule the next stream. We'll continue this one on Tuesday, But I think what I might start doing with the stream soon is like Tuesdays will be for Furret, the Furret run, which I don't think will take long. Famous last words type shit. But I genuinely don't think it should take very long. And then these Friday noon, Friday afternoon, Friday morning streams, I'm gonna start doing a new challenge. Oh, tight, thank you. I'm gonna start doing a new challenge starting a week from today. That I'll just kind of do in tandem with the Furret solo run. Because I'm just thinking, like, I wanna do multiple things at once. I know I have the bandwidth for doing different challenges, and there's just ideas I want to get out there and videos that I feel more strongly about making and shit. So, and shit. I said shit. Okay, now I know we can't fast forward on the emulator during this. At least that's what I heard that, like, those awful computer players do. I'm on my DS. My DS, I got a special edition DS that fast forwards when I want. It's really cool. My dad is Nintendo, he's a lawyer, so they do customs. Not super effective. That's what we like to see. All right. Bye. Definitely heal up. I don't know how fast unknowns are. I doubt they're like outspeeding us. Oh, they totally are. They probably did in the last one too, and I just didn't pay attention. Why aren't I pressing quick attack is the real question. But that's okay. Alright, well, we fought the unknown. I just watched the like Mystery of the Unknown or whatever it's called, the Entei movie, Pokemon 3. Like 2 days ago I watched it. It was fun. Like, I genuinely think of the first three. The second one, I rewatched the second one recently too, Pokemon 2000. The original Pokemon movie, Mewtwo, that era, that Pokemon movie was so hype. The series built up to it in a very fun way. That like felt very like rewarding as a kid for like my fandom, you know what I mean? I was like, oh, this is rad. Like, they're really like letting us eat. They're like making the show matter by having a tie-in with the movie so intricately, because like I don't know if you were around or if you've seen the original Pokemon series or whatever, but they straight up like had Gary like leaving the Vermilion Gym, having just had his like fade run by Mewtwo. Like, they talk about Mewtwo, and it's cool. So I don't know, that first movie is so good, and the plot is actually a lot of fun. Mewtwo is such a good character. Mew is the cutest thing ever put on film. But Pokemon 2000, I love Lugia. I love the legendary birds. I love Slowking. Slowking's a vibe. That movie is ass. Like, it's aesthetically, it's amazing. It's like so cool. But plot-wise, it's just so stupid. It doesn't make any sense. And like when the birds start fighting each other at the end, it's like, why is this even happening? I don't know. I just think it's a really dumb movie. I know that's not controversial, but I was just reminded. I always just liked it as a kid because I was a kid. I wasn't that like focused on the plot clearly or whatever. But the Entei movie is actually pretty lit, and I remember liking it as a kid. It's like a sad story about loss and grief, and you know, like, it's kind of cool that Ash isn't really the focus of the movie. It's like more about this girl and the effect the unknown are having on her. It's more about the actual Pokemon than it is about Ash, which I think is like a fun way to do things. And honestly, I wish Pokemon would put out like more movies that were like not having anything to do with the show, like not related in any way. No characters the same, not the same region, even not the same timeline. Like imagine if Legends Arceus, you know, instead of an awesome game, what if it had been a show? Like, and I'd still take a Legends Arceus show. That would be badass. But what if they had just made a whole ass or a movie about the plot of Legends Arceus? It'd be badass. It'd be really cool. And they could easily do that whenever they want. I don't know, dude. I think that Pokemon really kind of drops the ball when it comes to utilizing, like, the story. I just don't think the Pokemon company has ever really hired particularly good writers or allowed good writers to, like, use Pokemon in a more interesting, like, dynamic, mature way. And I'm not saying like it should be for adults. I don't want to see like Pokemon but it's dark. I hate that shit. But what I'm saying is like Avatar The Last Airbender has a plot that deals with some mature themes, genocide, you know, like disarmament, equality, like, you know, not to mention Legend of Korra, which goes even further on a lot of stuff in that mature direction. But it's still for kids, and I think it's a healthy way for kids to be introduced to some of these complicated and dark concepts. And I'm not saying I want to see like a Pokemon genocide movie or TV show, but what I am saying is that like I think that Pokemon, like compared to other animes, it's written for babies. You know what I mean? It literally feels like you're watching like the Dora the Explorer of anime. Like, it's like, can you see Team Rocket? Is Meowth blasting off again? Like, it's the same shit every... You know, it just gets frustrating. I love all these characters. It's iconic. It's fun. And I'm not saying that they should do anything at the sake of the kids' show. I'm just saying they have more money than God. They can absolutely afford to let the girls eat and give us some fucking, like, cool, challenging content, you know? Like, we love Pokemon. We can handle it. And they're doing it in doses. They're doing it in doses. Like, they'll give you realness in doses. Like, in the movies, like the Snubble that sacrificed itself to get the key, or like, on the YouTube, they'll have some stuff that hits a little harder, or is maybe just, like, a little darker, like the thing with the Zorua in the forest, and I don't know. You know, they play with it. And obviously the manga was more kind of initiated with kind of that darker mindset, like about like Pokemon can die and maybe there was a war and like blah blah blah. And Team Rocket is not like a sunshine and rainbow fucking thing like they are in the show, obviously Jesse and James, but in the games and the manga, like they're bad, scary dudes. And I just don't feel like we've really fully got the story we deserve out of these characters and out of the Pokemon themselves. Like, I just think there's always, it's just always so frustrating when somebody makes an amazing sandbox and then like they don't use it right, they don't play in it right, you know? It's like George Lucas built this amazing sandbox and he played in it really well for a little bit and then it got weird and then people got complaining. I don't know. I'm not saying anything new, but that's just how I'm feeling. I was watching these Pokemon movies and these shows, and I'm just like, none of this is scratching the itch I want. Like, just a little more mature. I'm really not asking much. I really think they could do it. Paldean Winds? Is that the show? What's the show called? The new one, because I was watching some of it. Hold on, I'm getting a phone call. Hello. Okay. Yeah, some groceries would be awesome. If they have an affordable smoked salmon, I would love that. some buttermilk for the waffle? Honestly, maybe some flour would be helpful too, yeah. Alright, well, you got it. I'm streaming, so I'll be streaming. You're okay. Will do. Alright, I love you. Bye. Sorry, that was my, that was this private detective I hired to kill a guy or whatever. Is that what they're called? Private detectives? When they murder for you? I'm back. Let's see here. What else has been on my mind about the Pokemon stuff? The black and white set, dude. There's some stuff in there that I really like and would really like to have, but it's maybe the least hype I've been for a set since Shrouded Fable, which, like, which I like. I like Shrouded Fable. Like, I like the Guardians. I think there's some really, really cool cards to pull in there, but, like, the pull rate was BS, like, a little bit. That, at least my experience with it. I didn't get to buy a lot of it. I kept that ETB sealed for the giveaway for this because it's, like, the product I could find and afford, you know. I honestly have been, like, toying around with the idea of, like, adding something to the initial giveaway, because the numbers just aren't going up the way I'd like them to. And that's on me. That's on me. I gotta post more. I gotta, like, give people more value for hitting the subscribe button. And so I think I've got to add something to the giveaway. But let's see here. It's just hard for me to find product, and I'm not a rich person. I do not have a lot of money. I don't work very much right now because of my back problems, and whatever money I might get out of the lawsuit involving all that, like, is not coming anytime soon. So I'm just trying my best out here. The Shrouded Fable set is still really cool. Like, there's good Pokemon in it. Just like I said, there's good Pokemon in the black and white set. But it's just like, they gave us, like, I feel like they gave us, like, a lot of crazy high value stuff in a row. I guess Stellar Crown kind of sucked too. I was not interested in Stellar Crown. I got my favorite card out of Stellar Crown, the Doxbun EX Special Illustration Rare. I love that card. Maybe I'm just salty that I didn't get anything good out of Shrouded Fable, but that's just it. Like, Stellar Crown was kind of boring, but then it was like Surging Sparks, like new Pikachu, the Latios cards, all the, like, cool terrestrial Pokemon. I just feel like they added good ones. Like, I just felt like it was a good set with some really high value chase cards, and then obviously fucking Prismatic Evolutions, of which I've opened one pack ever. I got to open one pack of Prismatic Evolutions. I finally saw it in person. I went to, like, a card show in my hometown that's, like, or just outside of where I live, that was, like, packed. It was fucking tiny. It was in this tiny hotel ballroom, and it was, like, full. It was, like, such a fire hazard. But I saw some Prismatic, and I had a couple cards that I was willing to trade or whatever, and so yeah, we're back in the same spot where, like, this is level 13 and a half, more or less, and I'm gonna grind it up until it evolves. But yeah, so I was like, you know what? I don't see 151 anywhere anymore, and I don't see freaking Prismatic. I've never seen Prismatic Evolutions in person, and I have these cards or whatever that I don't need. I was like, I'll trade in for these packs. I didn't even spend money on those packs. The only thing I bought that day was, I'm gonna heal. The only thing I bought that day was an Alolan Doug Trio art rare, and then my my Furret full art from Journey Together. But all that to say, like, this black and white set just doesn't feel... Journey Together was kind of like this too. Journey Together I really liked, but it was at least Journey Together was like, oh, we're getting, like, trainer Pokemon again, which is cool. And obviously Destined Rivals is, like, hyped as hell. People love Team Rocket. But I don't know. I just feel like I love Unova, but like I still feel like even with like loving Unova, like I feel like there's not enough in there a little bit. And the Tepig card is really cute, but like a lot of the starter illustration rares in the black and white set I don't think are like serving. Like compared to like the 151 set, I think that the 151 Charizard illustration rare is actually super overhyped personally. I think it's kind of boring and he's just like a little sliver in the sky, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm all for like not having a having a Charizard card that is maybe a little cuter or isn't like in the camera, you know, but I feel like there can be a step between like he's just a sliver in the background and he's a scary monster guy. Like I feel like why doesn't there is there I don't know of any illustration rares where Charizard's just like hanging out, you know, where he's just like maybe eating some food or like doing the thriller pose like he was always doing on Ash. Like I don't know, I just feel like the 151 Charizard was kind of not a serve. But the 151, everything else ruled. The Charmander, the Charmeleon, the story that the Charizard tells is cool as a part of that whole scene. Like the fact that all three of them make one scene, really cool. And then the Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, Venusaur cards are just beautiful. The colors are amazing. They just like blend in really well. And the Blastoise, it's the coolest Blastoise card ever made. Like straight up, the 151 Special Illustration Rare Blastoise is the coolest Blastoise card that they've ever made. The aura is unbelievable. And the Wartortle is really cute. The Squirtle's super cute. I got the Charmander's really, really cute. It was the first thing I pulled out of 151. But the starter illustration rares in the black and white set, I was like really excited. I love Superior, and I really like Emboar a lot, and I like Samurott fine too. But I just don't think they're giving like that. It's just like unimaginative. I feel like it's just like they're pretty, but they're just like not exciting or particularly like interesting. And that just bums me out. I just feel like, you know, if you're going to go to the trouble of doing like a black and white set, like, you know, you're not giving that to us as much as you're giving us Kanto. And yet you have this Kanto set that has like all these unbelievable art, like cards in them. And then the black and white set's just kind of like not serving as hard. Like the one time you do it, you know, like it just bums me out. Like, let me look at these. Friggin' black, what is it, like Volt Black and like Flare White or something, and white Pokemon card. Show me the money, show me the cards, show me the illustration rares and whatnot. Well, that's not right. Yeah, they're not coming up from my little Google search. What I've seen so far has been kind of mid-looking. Like, you know what set I realized recently that I love, that I really kind of slept on, is Paldea Evolved. The illustration rares and art rares in Paldea Evolved are so freaking cute. Like, the Fuecoco in the shopping cart, I need that shit. I need that card. It's so cute. And that's the kind of thing, like, I feel like they should do with Charizard sometime, is just show a Charizard in a daily life. And not a mystical or a whimsical or a battle-y situation, but just show, like, what's Charizard like, you know, why can't Charizard sit on the couch while you knit? You know, why does it always got to be Gardevoir and the weird humanoid Pokemon that we show, like, doing people-y stuff? Charizard is, I don't know. I feel like they they do stuff with Dragonite that they should do with Charizard, and, like, vice versa. Like, where are the badass Dragonites? You know? I'm sure there are some, but I feel like most Dragonite cards are, like, cute. And he's super cute, don't get me wrong, but he's stronger than Charizard. Like, you should show him being a little formidable sometimes, and you should show Charizard being kind of cute. Um, that's cards. Games. Legends EA. I just keep seeing people speculating on Mega Evolutions. What new Mega Evolutions are we gonna get? And like I can't even look at the like guesses anymore. It's like it's all just getting me. I feel like it's all setting me up for like disappointment or whatever. You know, like so I'm just gonna try my very best to like keep my eyes closed to everything but actual announcements from Nintendo and Pokemon. You know, as far as like Mega Evolutions for Legends EA go. I don't want to speculate. I don't even want to like say who I want to Mega Evolve. I will say one. And I don't know if this is exactly what I would want necessarily, or if this is... I think, like, to me, I feel like it's kind of silly that there's still no normal evolution. Like... I think of all the things that, like, should be a thing, of all the types of EVs I'd love to see, you know, obviously, I'd really love to see a Steel-type EV, a Poison-type EV. Those are two that I'd love to see sometime. But I think a normal-type evolution should absolutely happen. And if they don't want to give us a normal-type evolution, like a full-on, then give us Mega Eevee. Right? Mega Eevee could be really cute. And then it could still be part of, like, the Eevee family without creating, like... Because I think that's probably the thing that they're concerned about with doing a normal evolution, is what if then it starts to outshine Eevee, or vice versa, even worse somehow, like, what if it can't overcome Eevee hype and, like, actually join the true fold of, like, how they... Because it's all about merchandise, and it's all about, like... What can we get people to buy into? And so I just think, like, Mega Eevee kind of solves the problem. Because you can give the girlies, like, what they want. Oh, no, I wanted to set up Defense Curl. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, God. Okay, there we go. That's fine. Baby, 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 oh. Like baby, 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 now you'll be mine. First gym badge, attempt 3. Yeah, Mega Eevee. That's like the one thing I'll say. Honestly, why am I saying that? I should probably just keep saying what I would like to Mega Evolve. You know what? I will. And if it's not Mega Evolution, it's me saying, like, I think these things deserve a little more sunshine. I think Miltank. Miltank is, like, so iconic for Gen 2 players and Gen 4 players. Anyone that's ever had to deal with Whitney's Miltank knows that Miltank is kind of that girl. And so I think that, like, an evolution would be cool, a la Farigiraf, or straight up just, like, give us Mega Miltank. Screw it. Or a baby Miltank. Tell me a little baby pink, like a pink baby cow Pokemon wouldn't eat. You know what I mean? Like, that would be awesome. So, I think Miltank is somebody that could get a little more sunshine on him. I like, for Mega Evolutions, what else? I know I have other ideas. Golduck needs love. Golduck needs some love. I don't know if it's a Mega Golduck or an evolution. Golduck needs the Annihilate treatment, you know? Because, like, Psyduck is such an icon. We love Psyduck, and Golduck feels like a middle evolution. Feels a little bit to me like a bit of a middle evolution. You know, it has that kind of middle child vibe where it's like, you don't, like, you're good. Like, you... I had a Golduck recently that really put in some work. Cloud9 Golduck that helped us a lot against Flannery in our Cheflock, Pozole Cheflock of Emerald Sea Glass. But, you know, he's not a very good Pokemon. Like, you can't bring... No one's ever bringing a Golduck to an Elite Four. Almost never. So just, like, give him some love. Give him a Mega, or let that boy evolve. Give him his psychic typing. You know, that's another thing about Golduck, where it's just like, you can't even, like, you didn't even resolve the, like, whole storyline of Psyduck's headaches and unleashing the psychic power. Like, I'm glad that Golduck doesn't get headaches, but him not being a psychic type is just kind of absurd, especially from the perspective of the show. Like, the fact that he's not a psychic type and Starmie is. It's like, none of that shit mattered. It's like, oh, okay, so you were just, like, lying to me the whole time I was watching the show? I don't know. Golduck needs some love. Tentacool getting a Mega would be badass. It would be cool as hell. I love Tentacruel. I don't think Tentacruel needs to evolve. I think Tentacruel is a fully fleshed out design. Like, I think Tentacruel looks cool as hell. He looks really menacing. He's got a great special bulk. Like, Tentacruel to this day can really put in work. I just think, like, a Mega would be badass. A Mega Tentacruel that, like, what would be good, like, what would make a Mega Tentacruel, like, I guess it just got the Toad School line. That is one thing they got there, because there's never been a regional Psyduck, or, so it's just weird. Psyduck is, like, iconic. People love Psyduck. I find it strange that they've never revisited the line. What else? I love Smeargle, but I recognize that, like, a Mega Smeargle or a Smeargle evolution could actually break competitive Pokemon forever. Like, I get that could be, if you give Smeargle even somewhat decent stats and still the ability to learn any move, like, I get that would be pretty devastating blow to the competitive community. But I love Smeargle. Just on a design level, I think he's really cute. I've had real fond feelings of Smeargle since I first saw him as a kid. I just think a painting Pokemon that can learn any move. It's such a cool gimmick. It's such a fun idea. Forretress is another one that I really like, that I think, like, could be stood to revisit. I'd take a Houndoom evolution, but they already obviously Mega'd it. That's one thing, is that there's some Pokemon who have Mega evolutions where I'm like, but you didn't actually, like, solve the problem. Because you didn't make the Mega evolution good enough to justify the fact that you'd have to sacrifice your Mega evolution slot. Like, Medicham comes to mind. Houndoom. You know? Sharpedo, even. Like, there's Pokemon that I feel like, you know, you could have done more. I'd take, you know who I think a Mega could save? Give it Unseen Fist, Mega Breloom. An Unseen Fist Mega Breloom would go crazy, quite frankly. It would be a problem. Because Breloom's already pretty viable. It gets Spore, you know what I mean? I think if you do Unseen Fist Mega Breloom, though, it has to be one of the Megas where the stats shift. You probably have to make it a little slower. Because, like, a speedy as hell, like a really fast Mega Breloom hitting Spore on everything would be a little crazy. It'd be a little too much. Excuse me. Well, who else would be cool? I mean, obviously, everybody talks about Mega Flygon, and I think it warrants one for sure. I think it definitely warrants a Mega because it's just one of those Pokemon. It's like I feel like Flygon occupies a similar space as, like, Arcanine and Gyarados almost, where it's like that Pokemon is like a legitimate threat and, like, has legitimate usability. And Mega Arcanine, I don't know what the rumors are. I'm just saying what lines come to mind or could use some love. I don't want to predict anything, and I don't want to be spoiled per se. I'd also like there's like all the one-stage Pokemons. There's all the one-stage Pokemon that, you know, you're like, as power creep goes on, like the older generation one-stage Pokemon become just like totally kind of ignored and like unviable in any real way. Like I'm thinking of like Tropius, Zangoose, Viper, Solrock Lunatone. Like any one of those getting Mega Evolutions could be really fun. A lot of the double battles, you could have like Mega Evolution pairs, and it sucks because it's like they did Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, or vice versa, and like I'm personally disappointed with some of the like things they chose to give Mega Evolutions in that game, and I also think ultimately they didn't do enough. Like Mega Manectric, come on. Manectric is a little lame. Like, I think it has a very kind of like gold... Mega Manectric looks really cool. I think they should have just evolved Manectric. I don't think Manectric should have gotten a Mega. I think they should have just said, this is the evolution of Manectric. Because Manectric has that kind of like middle child thing to me too. It just doesn't look like a fully evolved Pokemon to me. I wonder if they'll ever evolve something that has a Mega Evolution already. I can't think of any instances of that yet. This music's a little loud. This song. But that would be interesting to see. Like, if they gave Medicham an evolution, despite it already having a Mega, that'd be cool. I just don't know if they would really ever do that. But they'll do anything, is kind of what I'm coming to see. Like, but also, like, they just have kind of weird taste, ultimately, like, because I'm thinking of, like, the fact that, like, Diglett now has a regional variant and, like, an evolutionary counterpart in Wiglet Wugtrio. And, like, you know, like, I get the Meowth. I think it's kind of silly that we have 3 Meowths, but I get it because, like, Meowth is a huge character in the show and clearly kind of like a linchpin character for the franchise in that way. But I like Diglett a lot, but for a second I thought this was like that John Lennon song. 121 guns, but it's not. It's still Pokemon. I don't know, dude. But that's just the nature of being a fan of something, is that, like, you like it because it kind of lights something up in you. Like, it goes beyond just, like, enjoying the thing for the sake of it. It's like, it wakes up in you, like, and it could be like this. Oh, what would life be like if like that? Like, you know, obviously, like, Harry Potter was that way in a really big way. When I was a kid, everybody was like, oh gosh, I wish I got my letter or whatever. Whereas, like, and Pokemon, everybody was like, oh, I wish Pokemon were real, which would obviously be horrifying. But what that is that's you saying that this lights up my imagination. You know, Star Wars is that way too, and people have huge opinions about things that they imagine, you know what I mean? Like, it's cool. I like it. I like being a fan of something. Comic books are that way. Everybody just has their own ideas. I guess I just wish that, like, there was a little more creative diversity within Pokemon itself, and I think it's getting there, like, a little bit, like, because it used to be like all they were really interested in doing is, like, obviously they have they'll always have the cards, because the cards are huge. No, I don't want your phone number. But the TV show definitely felt like kind of not an afterthought, but like it was it was a secondary priority. The TV show existed to funnel kids into buying things. Is what it kind of felt like. But God, I can only sit so long in the chair setup we have / at all right now. Excuse me. The Pokemon YouTube, some of the stuff that's on there, I can't speak highly enough of. Like they've made some really, really cool short films and mini series kinds of things that really merit attention. And oh, my phone's ringing. Hello? Yeah, what's up? Oh, just filming. I don't want to be worried. Oh, okay. Cool. Just making sure. Okay, see you soon. Sorry about that. The stuff on the Pokemon YouTube is crazy. Like the official channel. There's this one with a Nidoran. Like a girl buys a shit ton of Pokeballs and finally catches a Nidoran. That's her first Pokemon, and like the story is really cute. I'd watch a whole series about her for sure. Especially if it was animated as beautifully as all that. And like, I don't know. I just feel like they're kind of just starting to figure out how to make better anime, because that's just it, right? It's like the Pokemon show is a terrible anime. Like, not terrible, but it's like I said earlier, it's like the Dora the Explorer of anime. Like when I watch any other anime, it's geared towards at least like a slightly mature sensibility than the Pokemon show is. So I think they're just starting to realize, like, oh, we should actually probably try to make like a good anime sometime. Like, and so hopefully, I don't know. It's weird because there's like I think there's no Pokemon movies in production, of any kind. Like, there's rumors of a Detective Pikachu sequel. There's rumors of like the live action Ash adaptation, I think, but like there are no official Pokemon movie projects, and I don't believe that one has come out since like 2021 is when that Zarude movie came out. And so I don't think since Ash retired has there been a movie or even an announcement of one, and that to me is strange. Like that feels like they're kind of reassessing how they handle their media. Like, and walking away from Ash is kind of part of that, right? Where it's like, oh, they want to kind of change up their approach. The Paldean series is better than the Ash arc, like in the direction I'm talking about. It's a little more mature. It's kind of a more serialized plot that isn't just focused around gym badge collection, but is focused more on like an overarching story and antagonist protagonist kind of like dynamic. But having said that, like it's still not amazing. And especially like in the voice acting realm of things alone, like I'm a dub person. I'm sorry, I can't keep up well with subs. I just, I have to really be honed in, and that's really hard for me in a serialized context, like to constantly be honed in and reading and paying attention to what's on screen every time I watch an episode of a show. Life's short, you know what I mean? I like dubs, and I like voice actors, and I like American voice actors, and I want them to get work, so I like dubs. The voice choice for Fuecoco is cancerous to me. Fuecoco is so So cute. It's such a cute design. And I love Skeledirge. I think Skeledirge is one of the best final form starters they've put out. Gosh, I mean, ever, frankly, but I think, like, not since, for me, not since, like, God, I don't even know. Like, I think he's, like, one of the best starters made since, literally, since maybe, like, Hoenn. I just love him so much. But the Fuecoco voice on the show is just grating. And it still has this kind of, like, this is for kids, like, this is a silly show for kids vibe. And, like, I don't know. I just wasn't, it wasn't serving to me the way that, like, I was hoping it would. I like it though, and I hope, I don't know, I just really feel like there's more that can be done with these characters and with these designs than is what is being done in that sphere. I think that's true of all Pokemon stuff though, right? Like, the games kind of suck. like obviously I love the game, but, like, we're all playing ROM hacks all the time and, like, thinking of new rules and stuff like that, like, because there's, like, flaws. They're flawed. Sorry. So yeah, there's, like, nothing in Pokemon that can really get, like, the full attention of the company. But I don't know. I just feel like it's a big enough corporation. Like, there's enough money there that they could make it a little better and probably make a lot more money doing so. You know, like, they put out, like, a really good Pokemon show, like a really, really good one that translated, like, well across, like, that transferred well along, like, the basis of, like, what ages enjoy it. You know, if they put up a Pokemon show that you could watch as an adult without children, you know what I mean? Like, or even as a teenager, and, like, not feel ashamed about, like, they could mint money. They could make so much money. So yeah, I don't know even what exactly I'm trying to say. At the end of the day, I just wish there was a better Pokemon television. Baby. Baby, do it. Yes! Okay. Now, we should start setting up defense curls. We lowered our defense quite a few times. But this is a foregone conclusion at this point. We're going to take this badge, no problem. Nice. Yeah, I think this challenge is too easy. I mean, I say that now, obviously. I've lost 2 attempts already. But there is just something about a Pokemon being, like, 4 levels ahead of a gym leader's ace that is just reading as really way too easy. I should put the Pokemon egg away. I should just, like, box the Togepi egg. Right? I don't need to hatch it for the plot, I don't think. So, let's just... Alright. And now let's fight our rival. What did I name our rival? Boring. That's a boring name. Yeah, see, this is why we need foresight. We have no way of hitting that guy without it at this point in the game. Quillava. Trying to smokescreen us, but you can't because our eyes are too keen. Yeah, see, like, I don't know. I'm not going to fully declare that this challenge is easy until, like, I get to Jasmine or Chuck, like that split. because I'm fully open to the idea that, like, going up against a type that we can't really deal with is going to be the bane of the challenge. I remember I struggled a lot with the second Farfetch the other day. I probably will again. And I like puzzles, but, like, this sucks. I don't remember why, but I just remember feeling like, oh, this is harder than it should be. I'm excited to get Headbutt. Headbutt's got good utility. Okay, now let's see here. We got to get him out of this corner. We might as well go this way. Oh, right. Okay, no, I know how to do it. I know how to do it. Nice. Okay, I must have been, like, really high. Because that was not hard. Alright, yeah, give me cut. Oh, and now we gotta go get Chikorita to learn cut. I'm not teaching it to Furret. Not my baby. Someone withdraw Chikorita, teach it cut. I've been trying to think of what like my second favorite Pokemon is. And I really don't think I could pick a second favorite. Furret is my favorite out of really sentimental reasons and just the fact that it kind of attaches me to a different place in time. I love the design. I think it's really cute, obviously, but also underexposed in a way. Like, I just don't think, like, Furret gets the exposure of even, like, Eradicate, so I think part of it is that, like, I'm not having to compete with a bunch of people for, like, Furret love. I don't know. I've just always loved Furret, and it's been an easy Pokemon to be my favorite Pokemon and say is my favorite Pokemon for a long time. But yeah, I think I would really struggle to pick a second favorite or even a top 5 because there's 1,025 of these guys at this point, and amongst those there's like several dozens of regional variants, mega evolutions, Gigantamax forms, and I just think an alternative forms and colors like Minior and Deoxys, and I just think, like, yeah, picking a favorite would be like a top 5 would be really, really hard. It would not be an easy thing. We'll do it over Fury Swipes. Yeah, I remember having this conversation with myself already. A flinch chance is better than a bunch of crit chances that will miss. Let's see here. Taunt A. A lot of trainers on this route. Oh no, I wonder if we'll be able to say less. Quick attack. Does quick attack only have 30? Okay, that's awesome. I mean, I definitely have, like, favorites, right? But, like, even trying to think of, like, what's the first thing I could say as, like, another favorite Pokemon of mine, I start to struggle with a little bit. Like, I don't know, I love Totodile. I don't have any Totodile merch of any kind, though. Like, hold on just a moment, actually. So yeah, Totodile, I guess, is one of my other favorites. My first ever starter, my first ever Pokemon. But I was talking about this the other day. They messed up Totodile. Totodile's 3D design in modern Pokemon games is atrocious. I really don't know how to explain it. I'm not a design person. I'm not an artist or an illustrator of any kind, really. Like, so I don't have like maybe the language to describe what I'm trying to describe. But his eyes look fucked up. I don't know why. I couldn't explain it to you. But if I show you a 2D Totodile from back in the day, from like the actual Johto era, compared to like the 3D model Totodile that like is available to you in the game today, you could look at it. Like, he looks fucking weird. His eyes look fucked up. Like, I don't know why. He just kind of looks like dead in the eyes in the new model. It bums me out. So like, it's kind of fallen out of favor for me a little bit. He's like not obtainable in most games. He's not a particularly good Pokemon, you know what I mean, as far as like starters go. He's not Feraligatr is not like the best final form. I think he's cool looking. I think Feraligator's dope. I'm excited to see like what a Mega Feraligatr looks like, or a regional variant alligator. It could be really cool from the Legends EA game. But even in the Legends EA trailer, I'm looking at Totodile, and I'm like, he doesn't look good anymore. You guys did something. You messed him up somehow. Put it back. Like, fix him. I really love all the Johto starters, frankly. I have a soft spot in my heart for Johto. It's when I started, you know? A lot of people have that with Kanto. And I started with Kanto as far as, like, watching the show and, like, buying cards. And I love all those Pokemon and have connections to them as well. But, like, I didn't play Red or Blue or Yellow until after I played Gold. So, like, I just have more of a connection with the Johto Pokemon in that way, in the way of like, I don't want your number, Mr. Daycare Man. It's very presumptuous of you to think that I'm gonna fight me. I'm suspicious. A-Cab, fight me. So I like Johto Pokemon a lot. Trying to think of other ones. I already talked about Smeargle earlier. I like Smeargle a lot. Hoenn Pokemon, like, I've played more Gen 3. Like, as far as hours that I've put into Pokemon games, I gotta imagine like Gen 3 takes it. I have to think that like it's the generation I've played the most. But I don't know, like, it's not my favorite generation as far as, like, the Pokemon it added, per se. Like, I like a lot of them, though. What are some of my favorite Gen 3? Obviously, Mudkip is just, like, peak. I love Mudkip. I love Swampert. I love Torchic, too. I like Trico. I don't have any issues with Trico. I think Trico is really cool. I just, like, for starters in particular, I really vibe more with starters that I would describe as cute, as opposed to starters that I would describe as cool. And I think that Trico is one of the first, like, cool starters. Because, like, Totodile, Cyndaquil, Chikorita, Bulbasaur, Squirtle, Charmander, all of those starters are cute. You could argue Charmander's kind of cool, but he's really cuter than he is cool. He's cute. Let's see, Flash, Protect, Secret Power, Endure, Reflect, Light Screen Reflect, Hyper Beam, Blizzard, Fire Blast, Thunder, Focus Blast, and it can learn Focus Blast, we can, but I don't need to. That's what it was, okay. I was tempted, but yeah, no, we took out Whitney really easily without it, so with Morty coming up, I want to keep all our other stuff. Huh. Gen 3 Pokemon that I like. like favorites of Gen 3. I mean, I like Flygon a lot. I think Flygon's really cute. I love Altaria, and in extension, I love Swablu. I think the blue-white thing, the cloud thing. I love birds. I just think it's really cute. What else do I like from Gen 3? Duskull. I don't really like care much about Dusclops or Dusk Noir, but I think Duskull is so cool looking. I just really love its design. Also, I have a real soft spot for Shelgon. The middle between Bagon and Salamence. I just think that Shelgon is... It's like that cocoon phase thing. Like Pupitar is boring. Pupitar is like they made a Larvitar, like a Metapod version of Larvitar. You know what I mean? Like, it's like Pupitar is really boring. And it takes too long to evolve. And Dragonair is gorgeous. And Medang is pretty cool. Like, Medang is a really good, like, middle stage. But Shelgon is just, like... Shelgon is kind of a Metapod thing. But it's just so cute still. It's got all its legs. It's got 4 little legs. And you can still kind of, like... It still has personality in its face. There's that, like, Shelgon card. It's just, like, a common Shelgon... common card, or maybe an uncommon. It's not, like, a chase by any means. There's a more modern Shelgon card that came out in one of these recent sets that's just like got so much aura. It's just like standing on a hill and like looking down on you or something, and it's like just really cool looking. And I think Shelgon's cute and just like has personality in a design that very easily could have lacked personality. I love Breloom. And I love Ralt. I love the Ralt's line. The humanoid thing, it's like, I don't vibe with it. I don't like talking about fucking Pokemon or people that want to and all that Gooner bullshit. I think it's a bummer. But I don't think that needs to come into play for every... There's been humanoid Pokemon the entire time. You know, Machop is cool. Machamp is cool. Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan are cool. And so I liked Gardevoir when it came out because it was the first, like, because Jinx sucks. Jinx is such nightmare fuel, you know what I mean? So, like, to have, like, a humanoid that was a little more feminine in a way that wasn't, like, kind of, like, cartoonish and insulting the way that Jinx kind of feels to me, like Gardevoir, I think is neat and nice. Let's see here. Gen 3. I think, like, I like a lot of the Gen 3 Pokemon, but I kind of like them in spite of my initial reaction to them, or, like, in spite of them being kind of boring. Like, who would I say? I'm trying to... Like, Poochyena, Mightyena. Like, when I first saw them, I was like, okay. They're fine. But I like them. Zigzagoon, Lanoon, I feel similarly about. I feel like they're just kind of like... Zigzagoon in particular, I'm like, what are you going for? Now, Galarian Zigzagoon, I think, is cute as hell. I think there's something weird about Zigzagoon's eyes. What's up?
Friends.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, damn. But yeah, there's just something about Zigzagoon's eyes that have always just been weird to me, especially in the game. It's not as bad like when I see it in like the show or like on... But I don't know. But Galarian Zigzagoon doesn't have that problem. So he's a lot cuter. Galarian Lanoon I also think is way cooler looking than regular Lanoon. I don't know. Hoenn Lanoon is just kind of... It's just kind of like Mask Furret. And we don't need that, especially so close to when we had Furret. No. And yes. Awesome. Oh, god damn it. I keep, like, not paying attention to this quiz. No. Yes. No. Alright, thank you. Alright, cool. So, yeah, like, I don't know, I didn't love I don't love a lot of the early encounters. Like, Tailo, Swellow. I think Tailo is really cute, but I think Swellow is boring. And I love Pelipper and Wingull. Actually, I love Pelipper and Wingull. I feel like there's definitely more. I'll probably just have to do like a tier list at some point. That's the first video I ever recorded for Pokemon content, is I sat down and I did a tier list of the original 151. But I didn't ever end up editing it or putting it out because I wanted to do other stuff instead. But someday I do think I want to do it just for the sake of like knowing myself better, you know, not for the goal of even making particularly good content, but just like I want to know how I feel. And I might like make tier lists and revisit them and just like oh wait, I didn't want to do that. Whatever. Where's Route 31? Is it like way far north of here? Oh, or is it way far south? Where's Route 31? What are you... Why did I take the Spearow? I'm not doing this, dude. Sorry, I'm boxing your Spearow. I've got other things to do. Gen 4 I didn't get to play much. Like... Please remove the mail. Okay, God. What in the hell? Ugh. Sorry. Toast wants out. Here, Toast, let me get the door for you. But first I gotta take this letter off. Wait, is the Spearow's name Kenya? God, I took my allergy pills and everything. I don't know why I'm sneezing like this. Guess I can try sitting again for a little bit. Deposit. Thank you. Alright. Just not trying to hang out with you right now. It's nothing personal. It's just me and Furret here, me and Baby kind of like doing our own thing, so I don't know. I never really got to play, but Legends Arceus is low-key, like it's a Sinnoh game, basically. So I got to play that. That was fun. And you don't fight? No, I don't feel like it. Get out of here. I don't want to fly in here. Please, come on, dude. No flies. He's gone for now. But I love a lot of the Gen 4 Pokemon. I really do. Piplup, Peak, Turtwig's so cute. Chimchar's really cute. Monferno's awesome. Infernape rules. Like, I like every starter, every stage of every starter in Sinnoh, which is also true of like all four of the first generations. I love every form, and Gen 5 for me is when it starts to go downhill. I don't really like Oshawott. I know people that love Oshawott, and like I get it, like especially if like I had been exposed to him like at a younger age, or I don't know. I think Oshawott is made even worse by Samurott, which is like they don't belong to each other. Samurott and Oshawott look nothing alike, you know what I mean? Like it bums me out. I just think like do the Samurott line and give them like evolutions that actually fit, or like, you know, give us like a big Oshawott, like actually. I don't know. I just think it's a weird line. I don't think Oshawott is a particularly cute Pokemon. Like, to me, I just think it's a weird design, and the line is just flawed. And then Servine is kind of mid in a way that, like, middle evolutions up to that point just didn't feel like that to me quite yet. Like, why has he got tiny hands now? It's just weird, you know what I mean? It just, like, doesn't compute. My brain doesn't like it. I think the Tepig line is good the whole way through. But the Tepig line should be in a better game. In almost any other generation, Tepig would be the weak link of any other starter spread. That, like, I don't know. And then Superior is cool. I like Superior. But, and I like Snivy a lot. I just think Servine is kind of like a weak link in between the two, and that, like, Superior also, the hands, the arms thing is like, they didn't cook there, and they know they didn't cook. Like, they know that, like, they kind of made a sloppy design choice, I think. But Gen 6 also, like, I like the Chespin line. I think Quilladin is a little Nightmare Fuel-y. It looks a little bit like MODOK to me. Is that what that thing is called? From Marvel, where it's just like the big face, like the big square face. I get kind of those vibes from Quilladin. I think Chestnut is cool. And I think Chespin's pretty cute. Then, you know, Greninja line is good. And each step is good. Froakie's cute. Could be a little cuter. But he is cute. And then Frogadir's cool looking. And Greninja obviously is, you know, I like Greninja. And then the Delphox line I also like. It's one of the more feminine lines they ever gave us up to that point for starters. You know, Chikorita Meganium is kind of a little more femme, but it's still kind of very, like, dinosaur-y. So I thought that was cool to actually, like, give us something a little, like, cutesier. And the Fire Psychic typing, finally, after 3 firefightings, was cool. But yeah, I just think the Gen 5 starters they just didn't cook. They just didn't cook with it. You know what I mean? They called it in just a little bit. And I think they were working on a lot. You know what I mean? They wanted to give us that reboot, that feel, that vibe of like, oh, we're doing a whole new 150. We're giving you 150 for the first time since the first time. And it's like, okay, that's cool. But you underbaked some of these ideas because you were doing too much. It's like when you go to a restaurant and the menu's too big and you're like, oh, well, this isn't going to be good. You're doing too much. Like, you need to hone it in. Like, you shouldn't be selling burritos and pizza. You know? You shouldn't be doing sushi and, like, curry. You know? Pick a lane a little bit. Not every time, but that's kind of what Unova feels like sometimes. Because, like, some of the stuff... Because the thing about a big menu, of course there's good stuff on it. Like, of course they're better at one thing than they are at all the other things. And so, like, I think Unova did cook a little bit. Like, it gave us new type combinations. It, like, did new things for existing types that were, like, different. Like, I'm thinking of, like, bug types. They went off with the bugs in Gen 5. That's, like, everyone knows that. Acelgor, Scavalier, baller as hell. Scolipede, baller as hell. Livani, so cool. And I'm forgetting some. I know I am. They did some really cool stuff in Unova, but, like, one of the things they really let slip, I think, is just the starter line. Starters. you know, Pat Rat Watchdog, like the early game encounters, they didn't cook. Because I think they were, like, so excited about Pansage, Semi-Sage, all that stuff, that they were like, we don't even need early game encounters, you know? Purloin Liepard is cool. Purloin Liepard is like, what if you gave Mighty Anna, like, a kind of different role from Zigzagoon as opposed to just kind of, like, making a normal... It's like, Mighty Anna is kind of just like a dark-type Raticate. Whereas, like, Liepard feels more like its own thing, you know what I mean? Like, it functions differently than Watchog a little bit. It's got kind of like a speedy thing. I don't know. I think Black and White cooked as far as, like, I don't know, giving us a game that felt like more thought out as a game. Like, but the Pokemon designs just, it's like, it's Cheesecake Factory syndrome. It's just too much. You're just doing too much at once. Let's see here. How long have we been streaming? I have not been keeping up with what I'm doing. Sorry guys, let me just check this out. Okay, about an hour and a half. Well, that's cool and all. I think Zekrom's kind of lame looking. I think they messed up his head. Like, his body is cool. He's got a cool body. Like, he's got a cool silhouette. But yeah, there's something about his face and the shape of his head that I just think is like, you made his head too tiny, guys. Like, he's a big legendary beast. Like, Reshiram is beautiful. Like, when the games got dropped and announced, there was no question in my mind who I was going for. I was like, I am all in on Reshiram. And still to this day, I just think it's so pretty. I haven't looked to see, like, what the Reshiram chase would be in the new Black and White. I really don't even know if there is one. I think what we're going to do is clear the gym, then we'll go heal, and then we'll take on Whitney. And then that'll be the stream for the day. Because that's as far as I got in the last attempt. So I feel like just like tie the personal best and then we'll come back. It'll be like day one never happened. You know, Hydreigon rules. They cooked with Hydreigon. They cooked with Volcarona. They did not cook with their legendary trio. I don't hate Cobalion, Tracheon, Virizion. Like, I wouldn't go so far as to say, like, I think that they're terrible designs or anything like that. I think if I had gotten exposed to them at a younger age, like, as opposed to the legendary dogs, I'd probably like them a lot more. And, like, I don't fully even hate on, like, Iron Leaves, Iron Crown, Iron Boulder. I think, like, those guys kind of look cool. I think the future Paradox Pokemon are weaker overall than the past Paradox Pokemon, but I still think they all look kind of cool. Like, I like them all a little bit still. There's not one that I look at and I go, well, that one sucks. Like, they're all pretty cool looking for what they are. I like Iron Valiant a lot, too. I like this implication that, like, in the future, the sexes merge, and you get, like, non-binary Gardevoir Gallade. It's kind of what it feels like. I think that's cool. But, what am I trying to say? But, oh yeah, but the Legendary Trio, just compared to other ones, especially up to that point. I mean, okay, so, excuse me. I don't know what's happening. I took my allergy pill. Hope I'm not getting sick or something. Gen 1, obviously you have the legendary birds, iconic, Zapdos, Articuno, Moltres, all really amazing designs in their own right. And just like a fun balance and a fun like discovery thing that they all kind of exist off the map in the game is cool. Wow, that was the most uneventful Whitney fight I've ever had in my life. Yeah, this challenge is probably too easy. That's too bad. Well, we're gonna see it through. You know, I'm just having fun hanging out with Furret. He's just so cute. How you feeling, winner? Baby is very happy. You see, and that's why we do it. We do it to make sure Baby is very happy. The legendary dogs, the legendary dogs to me, and this is, I guess, my Johto bias, like, showing again, like, Raikou, Entei, Suicune, all three are just, like, so iconic in their own right. Like, Suicune and Entei obviously, like, have character, like, arcs and kind of, like, story to them. Obviously, like, Suicune being the cover art for Crystal and Entei having its own movie. Like, Raikou didn't get the treatment that those two got. So you can argue that Raikou is an icon, like, on its own. But for me, Raikou was the first one I ever caught. It was the first of the three legendary dogs I ever encountered in the game. And to this day, it's my favorite of the three designs. I just think he looks so, so cool. And so I just think the legendary dogs are perhaps... I don't even really think there's a contest. I think they're the best legendary trio by far. And, like, solidify that trope of them doing, like, the legendary trio in the first place. You know what I mean? Because the second time you do it solidifies it, you know? The Reggies, which go on to, you know, obviously be more than... Oh, what am I doing? To be more than a trio, because we have new Reggies, which I love. I think it's so cool. The Reggies are awesome, super iconic, really fun. You know, the Learn Braille movement, you know, the fact that they made us learn Braille, that whole meme, like, it's so true. Like, getting the Reggies was so complicated. Like, and I think that's awesome, and they just look cool, and there's just, like, there's the concept of them, like, in and of itself is just, like, really unique, like, these primordial elemental, like, figures that just kind of, like, stand almost as statues. Like, I think it's cool. Then, like, so here's where the argument starts to fall apart. Like, Gen 4, you see me spread Azelf. It's not it. It's not it. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like... I like Azelf a lot. The pointy head one. And I also like Mesprit, the pink one. Uxie is lame looking. The sleepy one. And not just because it's sleepy, but also because it's just kind of like... It just looks... You know, the head is weird. What's with the round head thing? I don't know. I just don't like its design. And even if I did, it's three, like, psychic type Pokemon that really don't do anything exceptional. They're all kind of just, like, worse versions of Cresselia. So on a battle standpoint, they're kind of mid, and on a design standpoint, they're kind of lazy, and so I just think, like, that's the first time they really didn't cook with the legendary trio. But Black and White is, like, not a return to form for me, because, like, Black and White did, like, by making them all, like, fighting type, you kind of automatically, like, told us that there wasn't going to be much variety, and they do look kind of samey. You know, Entei, Suicune, Raikou, Moltres, Zapdos, Articuno, and even Registeel, Regirock, Regice, like, all have these very kind of, like, distinct designs. Like, they obviously look like they're part of a trio, but they have very different kind of like forms to them. Like, maybe not the Reggies, but even the Reggies, they all have these very different color schemes, and you know, like the kind of symmetry of the Reggies is kind of the point of the Reggies in a cool way. And I just don't think they just didn't cook with the Justified trio or whatever they're called. They just didn't. Like, I don't know what else to say. And then they didn't give us, I think in Kalos, it's the first generation, the first generation that didn't give us a legendary trio. Because in Kalos, all your legendaries are the cover legendaries. You got Xerneas, Yveltal, Zygarde, and then you just have your mythicals. You have Hoopa, Volcanion, and Diancie. They didn't give us a legendary trio. Alola, I think the legendary trio obviously is replaced by the Tapus. They give us 4. Awesome. I'm so in support of that. Because those guys are really distinct designs, and they all have the common fairy thread works way more for me than the common fighting thread, because like fairies being kind of like elusive mythical legendary creatures in and of itself kind of just makes sense to me, as opposed to like big dog guys. We already had big dog guys who were it's just like Raikou, Suicune, and Entei already ate your meal. Like, you're coming for crumbs on a plate, like, is what the Terrakion people feel like. And the crumbs are tasty crumbs. Like, I still think they're kind of cool, but I just think they don't live up at all to the legendary trios that came before. I mean, outside, obviously, like, I wouldn't say they're, like, distinctly worse or better than the Lake Guardians, except for I appreciate, like, the variety that they offer in typing. Like, the fact that they're not all friggin' Psychic-type Pokemon, I appreciate. But, I don't know. I think we'll stop here. We'll stop here. I feel like there's a lot of trainers that are accessible to me at this point, but that I don't necessarily want to become too overpowered for Morty, but we got these kimono girls to deal with and stuff. Sure. Thanks, baby. So yeah, we'll save here. Attempt 3. We're doing good. We breezed right through it, as we should, because this should be an easy challenge. Tuesday, we'll be back at 7 Central Time for the next installment of this. We'll take on Morty. We'll see where we go from there. I think we're running into the part of the challenge where it might actually start to become a little challenging. Not really. Next Friday, a week from today, at noon, maybe a little earlier, but I think I'll try to keep it at noon, just to try to stay more consistent for you guys if you really do end up wanting to join the live streams. We're going to start a new challenge. I won't say what it is right now, because it's a toss-up between 2 that I want to do, but I'm really excited about it. So, thanks so much for watching, whenever you watch, and be sure to come back Tuesday at 7 or next Friday at noon to keep up with the next streams, and keep an eye out, please, for the Pozzole video. I want to try to get it done this month. I'm skeptical that I'll be able to do that, because the editing is going to take a long time, and I want it to be as high of quality as possible, because once I upload a video, I want it to stay there, you know, like, I want to do my very best, and not cut corners, and that means that, like, for the sake of quality, it just might take me a little longer. I'm a one-person team. I'm doing every element of the editing myself and script writing myself, and so I just, you know, I'm still developing those skills and kind of a voice as an editor and as a video maker. So if I don't feel like it's ready by the end of the month, I'm not going to put it out. I'm not going to rush it out, but just stay subscribed, or subscribe if you haven't already. Turn the notifications on. I don't do much. I'm going to do 2 live streams a week, a short here and there. But mostly going forward, it's going to be about these videos. And the videos are not going to come out often, but when they come out, they're going to be good. Like, so just keep an eye out for the Pozzoli video. Yeah. Again, thanks for watching. I'll see y'all on Tuesday.